Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. We got a bit of snow on the ground, kind of a snow slash sleet. The temperatures have been 32, 33, 34 degrees. So some of it's melting off. It's been cloudy, but we're supposed to get a pretty hard freeze in tonight. So what is on the ground and the wet slushy stuff on the road's probably going to freeze and may have some driving difficulty. Who knows? But you know, it's still February, folks. We can still get more of this. In fact, we're supposed to get snow again next week. This year, it's kind of lingering on. I wanted to mention to you a company that I personally use. And I just want to throw it out there. They're getting ready to have some pretty good sales. It's called First Tactical. They predominantly make uniforms for like military, law enforcement, firefighters, EMS, that stuff like that. That's where I get a lot of my uniform pants and stuff. But they have other stuff. They have different type of tactical gear and stuff. Everything I've ever gotten from them is very good quality. And the price is not bad. They're not, very high dollar. You can get some high dollar stuff that's good quality, but you're going to pay for it. This stuff is kind of middle of the road. It's not the cheap junky stuff you get off of Amazon, but still good quality. So if you're interested in gear, bags, and belts, gloves, boots, pants, things like that, if you like more of the tactical style clothing, or maybe you work in some type of first responder type of service and you're looking for that, First Tactical is a pretty good company. There's a link down in the description in the comment section below for you to go check them out. I don't think you'll be disappointed in them. I really like their stuff, and like I said, the price it's kind of right there in the middle. So it looks like there's a possibility, if things continue going the way that they're going, that by this weekend, the Gaza war, I guess that's what they're calling it now, the Gaza war may flare up again. Donald Trump and Netanyahu in the last week or so have both made clear statements that if the remainder of the hostages held by Hamas are not released by Saturday, and this is quoting President Trump exactly, all hell will break loose on them. Well, today, Hamas leaders said that they have no intentions of releasing the remainder of the hostages by Saturday. So things could start heating up there again. And, and I'm not pointing fingers and saying how much I don't like the man. My goodness, everyone acts like I hate him. I'm just pointing out irregularities. But anyways, Donald Trump has said that he wants to take control of Gaza, right? And if Hamas does this and not give them up, this would be a perfect, it just kind of plays right into that. All right, we'll take you out and we'll take your land. If they complied and did everything that they're supposed to do, it'd be a little bit more difficult, I would think. So this is probably just playing right into the plan, and I'm sure it is part of the greater plan anyways. Apparently, Donald Trump has been talking with both Putin and Zelensky on the phone and has scheduled a meeting to work out a peace plan between the two of them. Who knows what it's going to be, but it does look like that's starting to move along. I don't know. Zelensky's still trying to hold out for, stuff for them and being part of NATO. Donald Trump says that that's not going to happen. But we'll see. There's a lot of other things going on in the world, of course. But, I want to say this, and it's not, some of my listeners will tell me, don't worry about what the people say in the comments. And generally I don't really care. I kind of laugh at them. But since, the last few months, I have not been, I've not been a lapdog for Donald Trump. I just haven't. And I've not, been one to just regurgitate the narrative. And a lot of people have come out pretty strongly against me. And many people in the comments have said that you've watched me for years and you don't like how things have turned, how I've turned out. You thinking that maybe I'm a liberal. I've been asked that. Now you've turned into some kind of liberal because I don't support what Donald Trump is doing, or at least a lot of it. I mean, he said today he wants the Department of Education to be done, over. I support that. But I also acknowledge that in doing that, it's going to create disruptions, okay? Doing away with large swaths of the government overnight is not necessarily a bad thing, and I agree with dramatically shrinking the federal government. But we also have to acknowledge that in doing so, you're ripping the rug out from underneath the system, and the system could falter, at least for a while. But then there's the other parts, and this is where people really get upset, that I don't think what's going on is all pure and true. I think it's false. I really do. It doesn't make me a liberal, folks. It doesn't mean that I think that Kamala Harris would have done a better job. I mean, that's just absurd. It just means that this is all part of this big globalist plan to take over. And it's deeper than the World Economic Forum. It's deeper than the United Nations. I mean, it's this Club of Rome, Illuminati, very deep, dark thing. And who knows how much Donald Trump is even aware that he's playing part of the plan. He may not. I don't know. But there's too many things that are happening to just ignore. There's just too many things. You can't just ignore these things and say, oh, it's okay. I can't just ignore them and move on just to appease my listeners. I mean, I'm not doing it so that I can get money, because the amount of viewership that I have dropped is so significant here on YouTube. You know, I'm the YouTube funds and the viewership is less than it's been in probably 4 or 5 years, maybe. So I'm not doing it for the money, because the opposite is happening. I'm doing it to try to awaken people. Just stop and think about it. If what is happening is all pure and true, and it's really happening the way we're being told, we are living through a revolution. We are living. There's maybe even more so in some ways than the Civil War. We are living through a revolution, and not a shot has been fired. Not a fight has happened. No one's died from it, necessarily. Nothing. This guy that supposedly had the election stolen from him 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, I'm not denying that. But I think that was all part of the plan also, to set the stage. But if we're to believe that they had the capability of rigging it back in 2020, and they didn't this time, and not only did they not have the capability of doing it this time, but he won with a landslide and then got into office and is making all of these radical changes with very, very little opposition. I mean, the only opposition has been some little regional judges that are already getting overturned by U.S. District Courts of Appeals. And so we're watching this revolution of our system, of our government. Nearly an entirely new government is being built right before our eyes, and the old one's being torn down. This deep state, right? How many times in the last few years have you thought or said or watched things and agreed with about how powerful the deep state is? This deep state controls everything. It's everywhere. And yet it seems like in just 3 weeks' time, it's been destroyed. Does that sound right to you? Does that make sense? I mean, it's possible that in the coming weeks, we could see a pushback, a big fight, all kinds of things could happen. But as of right now, we're not seeing that. And we're also seeing all kinds of other weird things. A lot of people that most people would consider part of the big deep state are all falling in line behind Donald Trump. Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and Google and all these other big entities are just, okay, we're going to toe the line now. You know, Google, I saw this week, they've not only dropped their DEI, but on their calendars, you know, that you can get on their apps, they've removed Pride Month and all this kind of stuff from their apps. Really? I mean, it was just a few months ago that they were in the front line pushing this stuff. And then now all of a sudden, because Donald Trump's president, it all goes away. Everyone's walking away from that. It's too good to be true, folks. Open your eyes. It doesn't mean that you have to think it's all evil and it's all satanic and it's all bad. That's not what I'm trying to convince you to believe. I'm trying to convince you to open your eyes and be cautious. And if this all turns out to be true and real and actually good, then that's great. But also be wary. Be watching and have your eyes open, because it could all be a big part of the plan. That's it. That's all I'm trying to get people to do, because it's going too smoothly. It's too easy. This revolution has happened too quickly and too easily. And it's nothing like this has ever happened in human history, where a revolution like this, of such monumental size, a dismantling of a big government, none of that has ever happened like this, and it's gone so smoothly. What happened to, you know, the last time he was in office, where the big deep state was fighting him the whole way and he couldn't get anything done? Where are they? It makes no sense. We need to be aware of what's going on, folks. And if it's good, it's good. But if it's false, we also need to be aware of that. And that's all I'm asking people to look at, and not just be, you know, one of these kind of people that no matter what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth, it's sainthood. You know, it's perfect. It's almost godly. Don't buy into that. You know, the Trump $100 bill that I was telling you about. It's on the news. You can go online. It's not been debunked. It's fact. You know, the $100 bill that says "In Trump we trust," that's plastered all over a golden goat statue. All kinds of stuff. Pay attention, folks. And if it's good, and if it's true, and if it's pure, then, man, we've won a victory that I can't ever have imagined would have happened. But if it's not, we need to be ready. Because if it's not, that means really bad things are just around the corner. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.